We have with us today Mr. Anthony Bonavera. I guess that's good truth, right?
Yes.
He is currently 42 years old, been a patient of mine for 7 years, and has been on testosterone replacement a little bit over 2 years. So what was going on with you before we got into testosterone replacement? Well, let's talk about first of all, how did you hear about me?
Through a good friend of mine who was coming to you, who seemed to have been having the same problems as me, and says, Anthony, he says, my life has changed a big way. He says, maybe you should go and speak to him. And I
Which
came
you did.
here.
Well, how was your life at that time?
Very boring, very...
What about the physical part? Your strength, your stamina, your energy levels?
very low. I was always kind of veering away from doing lots of activities with my friends. I would kind of want to hang out home, not go out. Work-wise, my stamina, I noticed, was extremely low. I just didn't have it to, I just felt winded all the time. Nothing mattered, really. So,
And psychologically, how were you then?
very depressed. Never felt like doing much of anything. Just, not even work. I always felt like there was a rock on my shoulder.
You just mentioned before about not wanting to go out. That's not anything to do with your lack of strength or energy, not wanting to go out with people. Were you reclusive? Were you introverted? Did you just want to stay home by yourself?
I just was, always had a fear of going out. It just didn't feel like doing much of anything with my friends. I was a loner.
How was you a loner?
I was a loner.
How was your sense of confidence and your sense of esteem, self-esteem?
Very low.
In both of those areas?
Yes, very depressed.
So this was all happening at the age of about, when we started treating you, you were 40. So how far back does this go in your life that you felt this way?
At least 20 years.
At least 20 years. So almost, I guess, most of your life you've been
Most
feeling
of my
this
life,
way.
yep. About 20, 21.
How were you sexually before we started the testosterone?
Married with my wife now, going on 9 years. And for 6.5 of those years, once a month. If that. Sex wasn't a very big thing with me.
Had it ever been a real big thing with you?
When I was younger.
How much younger?
When I was around 18, 19, even 16, something I loved to do sexually, I was great.
And you lost it?
About 20, 21 years old, it just went down the tubes.
And stayed down?
Yep.
And would it be fair to say that at the same age you lost your sexuality is when you lost your self-confidence, you became depressed, you became fatigued easily,
Yes.
all at the same time?
Yes, everything.
So you had been this way before we started testosterone for 20 years?
Yes. Very depressed.
Okay, so then we did a testosterone level on you and it was extremely low.
Yes.
Almost undetectable, and you started testosterone replacement in October of 2006. And what happened?
My life just totally changed. In what ways?
Let's start with the physical and the energy and the strength.
Energy. After about the third shot, my strength, I just felt like a light bulb. Not dim anymore, very bright, brilliant. Suddenly nothing bothered me anymore. I was going out and enjoying life. I was talking to people. My thoughts were coming to me and clearly. What do I mean by that? If I could hold conversation, I wouldn't be afraid to talk in a conversation. And my concentration levels were outrageous. And they were never out like that before. They were always very dull and, nothing. I didn't want to say nothing. All of a sudden now I feel energetic. I don't fear going out anymore. I enjoy going out.
Your depression went away?
It went totally away. And In fact,
the go ahead, what?
In fact, if I would miss a shot for more than 3 weeks, I would notice all of that starting to come back to me. And it wasn't something good. You just kind of feel like, wow, I know that I'm wearing off here. There's something not right.
And the self-confidence and self-esteem?
After I started taking the shots,
yeah.
Like I said, around the third time I seen you, everything just started coming up. I felt like everything was blue skies now, sunny skies. I was enjoyable. You know, I could go out, I could do things.
What happened with you sexually from the testosterone?
The life just turned around. I felt like I was 18, 19 again. I was having sex once a month if I was lucky, to having sex probably 3-4 times a week, to when my wife actually slowed me down saying, Anthony, you became a horny dog, and that was just hiding inside me all that time. It just...
Yeah, you can't be horny without enough testosterone. It has to start with that. So it's had a major effect on your life.
A large effect.
What about your work? Has that affected that?
Well, I work for a large refrigeration company, and that means that you have to sometimes use ladders to get into the highest places you can imagine they stick these units. Before, I would be afraid to put up a 15-foot ladder. You know, a lot of people, they don't want to really talk about fear, but I was afraid to tell my boss I can't do that. And if I would tell that, I could lose my job. Here I am, after the third time seeing you, my fear of heights totally went away. When I was 18, 19, 20, I had no problem. Then all of a sudden, from 21 to present, before I started taking the injections, I was afraid to get off a ladder. I would have had to hang onto the ladder with my 2 hands, and I would put my leg gently over onto a roof to get up onto the roof, and then I'd walk around like a monkey for like 5-10 minutes real low to feel my center of gravity. Now that's all gone. I'm back to working. Don't even think secondly about heights. Sometimes I set the ladder up, and now before tying it off, 3-4 ropes. Now I just set it with 1 rope for safety like I'm supposed to. Get up onto the roof, and there I am.
All this happened to you, and the entire medical world wants to pretend that this disease doesn't exist. It's amazing. There was something else about your voice and something your mother told you?
Here I am, I'm 42 and a half, and my voice was squeaky all my life. My mom said to me, between the ages of 16 and like 19, my voice started changing, but then it stopped. I kind of just had a mid-high voice. Never thought anything of it. I just, you know, you don't think that. Here I am now. My mom just about 2 or 3 weeks ago at Thanksgiving said to me, Anthony, your voice changed. Your voice got very deep. And you sound more like a man. I said to myself, this is wild. I says, maybe I've never ever fully got into puberty.
You are absolutely right. You never fully completed puberty. And there are, if not millions of people like you, there are certainly hundreds of thousands. Well, you're one we helped. We'll try to get the message out to help more.
We really need to talk to people about this.
Okay. So thank you very much for making the video.
No problem.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.